Today, I want to talk to you about a book called A River Runs Through It. It's by Norman MacLean. It's a semi-autobiographical. It is fictionalized version of his life. It's about him and his brother Paul and how their lives ve- um, veered off into different directions. Norman was the clean-cut, straight path walking man who became a preacher, and Paul was wild and got into a lot of trouble fights. And no matter what Norman did, Paul, he couldn't save his brother Paul from destruction, no matter how hard he tried. And that was the theme of it. Um, the most famous line in that book is when Norman says, "It's the ones we live with and love and should know that elude us." And so Paul was a bit of a mystery to him. Even though their lives veered off, they always had one thing to come back to, and that was fly fishing. And they came back every single time. So the arc of the story is that you see them as kids, they start to grow apart, and Paul gets in trouble, and then as as Norman became a family man, Paul would often find himself in prison, and then at the end, he ends up being murdered with his hands shattered, a symbol of the loss of his soul, because that's how he was able to be such an amazing fly fisher. Is he had these great hands, and he ended up breaking them by striking somebody in a fight. And so it was both symbolic of his physical and spiritual death. I would say it's a great book for anybody who loves metaphors and allegories and the outdoors. It's an adventure. It's a great book, and I highly recommend it.